Alright guys, just thought I'd make a video showing off my artwork, my portfolio. It'll be, what are we on? I think we're on the 20th, we're coming up to the 20th of December, I think we're on the 18th today. So this is pretty much the artwork of 2024, and because this is a new channel, 2023 as well. I'll probably make another video at some point of older artwork, stuff that I find a little embarrassing, I think. But yeah, so I will say that a lot of my artwork is also stuck in the USA. I'm probably never going to see that stuff again. That's what you get for living there for 6 years. But yeah, so I have this big old beast of a portfolio folder. Yeah, it's a folder, right? Multi-ring binder, there we go, that told me. And yeah, so I'm going to have a little dish through this. I haven't been in here a second, so I can't even remember what's in here, which means I can't remember how long this video is going to be. But yeah, let me get it out. All right. Yeah, I was pretty lazy when I put all my artwork into, what's this? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, I'm pretty lazy when I put my artwork into my portfolio. I kind of just shove a wad into one pocket and call it a day. I'm not going to space out. I have too much artwork. I'll have too many folders. And although it will look impressive, no one's looking at it. So, I mean, I'm trying to impress. But I'm going to put this little one to the side, and I'll start with my first one, which is this little mushroom guy. I did this, I can remember, in a Target in Louisville, Kentucky. I did it in the Starbucks. I think it's common for Targets to have Starbucks in them. I don't really know. I didn't go to that many of them because they are for people with a little bit more money, which I did not have. But let's see if I can get a nice zoom. So that is my mushroom man. The idea behind this, I'm a big toad guy. The more this channel evolves and you get to know who I am, you'll see a lot of toads. These guys, I have not a clue who they are actually, but they are going to be in this toad world. And I did this with, I think I did everything you're going to see with Winsor & Newton watercolours and a variety of pens. I think these were microns, but lately I have switched to fountain pens using Winsor & Newton ink. I'll show you some here. I use black, but I have all sorts of colours. These, I will say, it says on the packaging that they're not for, not on this packaging, but it says it's not for fountain pens because it's, I don't know, thick, I guess. Maybe it's too thick. But, I mean, I use it. It's annoying when it dries, but I just use my metal ruler to scrape off the ink and they go again. And to be honest with you, if it destroys my nibs on my fountain pen, I don't really mind that much because then I have a cool fountain pen nib that's textured. Like, you never know when that comes in handy. I've been trying to rust some fountain pen nibs for ages and they're not rusting. It's really annoying. Like, I would buy rusting nibs. Anyway, this was a concept for where the toads will live. And I'm still 50-50 on if this is where they'll live. But I don't know, it's just a cute little hut. And not much more to say about that because I haven't really evolved that idea. I've lately been thinking more about them living in mushrooms, but my issue there is that I have these guys that are mushrooms. I would have houses that are mushrooms, and as you'll see in a second, maybe, I'll have vehicles that are mushrooms as well. Feels like a bit of a mushroom overload. Whilst I was also in Louisville, Hang on a second, let me put this folder to the side. I was in a art club in a amazing cafe. Let me zoom out again a little bit. Called Sapphire, which is right in Louisville, Kentucky. And man, they got some good coffees there, and they got good lighting, and oh man, I miss it so much there. But the art club, I think I mentioned this in my first video. I joined an art club. We did abstract, well, we did all sorts of stuff, but it pushed me to be better and do more things that I didn't usually do. And some of that was, I don't know what this even is, but abstract, I guess, maybe. I don't actually know what it is. But yeah, this isn't my first one. I think this was like my third one. And I'm not happy with all of it. I think there is things that could be improved. Let me get a little zoom up there. But all in all, it's not bad. This art piece is the first time I've been offered serious, I mean, it depends what you call serious, but serious money. My artwork, I got offered $300 for this. Would you believe that? $300 for this. I said no. Sometimes I regret saying that. But I think, I didn't do this for money, I did this for me. And if it's for me, why am I giving it away? I put on the back, what if tomorrow never happens? I can't remember what I was thinking when I did this, but I almost prefer that. I suppose the moon represents bad and the sun represents good, but he's cowering. I don't know. I don't explain my stuff, so take from it what you will, and that's your lot. I don't know if I wrote anything on the back of Ashford Manor Target Starbucks. Oh, 14th of March, there you go. And I finished it in Days Cafe on the 17th of March, there you go. There's another shout out to another good cafe, Days Cafe in Louisville, very good. Well, I got to show you the bad as well as the good, I guess. I keep this one as a memory I'm going to redo it one day. It's not bad. It's not bad. It is of the lead singer of my favourite band, Idols, but it's not brilliant. I am an artist who draws from imagination almost 100%. So when it comes to referencing pictures, I struggle a little bit. It's not a skill I have refined very much. And, I was impressed at the time because I was like, this isn't too bad, but I could do better. And it frustrates me, and one day I want to come back to this. I've wasted a lot of time talking, so I'm just trying to speed along. Random House. That's actually your lot. I can't remember. There's a game on Steam. It's like probably like $5 or something. And you can create houses, and I thought, hey, if you could just create houses, wouldn't that be good to just create something that looks really nice and cute, and then draw it, use it as a reference. And that's the result of that. Now I don't have a computer, so that's the one and only I've added that. Another abstract. We'll just call it abstract, even if it's not, for the sake of the video. I don't like this one. This is probably my least liked one that I have done so far. It says in pencil because I don't know whether to erase it or not. A lighthouse without no light is a house to what? And at the time, there was a reason why I wrote that. I can't remember it, and because I haven't solidified it with ink, I'm kind of like, it sounds a little pretentious now, doesn't it? It sounds a little bit like being a little bit bigger than what I am. And since I've been really hyperfixating on perspectives, this is... I don't like it. And we're back. All right. My video cut out, so I'm recording again, but thankfully I didn't get too far. So I was just about to fling this away as the video cut, because I was saying I did not like it. And then I moved on to this one, and I said, I do not remember this, I do not like this, and this is the first one from 2023, whereas the rest are from 2024 that we've seen so far, and we caught up. So, you know, good. Yeah, I don't like it. But, like our friend Joe Talbot, the Idol singer, it's there as a reminder. One day I'll redo it. And, well, that's what I'm imagining anyway, because I really don't remember doing this. So, moving on. I'll save that till later. This was one I also did in Days Cafe. I remember... No, I didn't do it in Days Cafe. Where did I do this? I can remember exactly where I was sat inside this building, but I don't remember that. It was another cafe in Louisville. So it's good. I will say the lighting in this cafe, not very good. Not very good at all. I struggled. So I only went there once. Sometimes I can deal with bad lighting, but this was not good enough. But yeah, it's like an American GI robot thing. I'm actually taking a robot course at the moment. And so I'll probably redo this at some point. The arms are a little scuffed. I cheated with the leg. Well, I didn't. I just didn't have enough room for the legs. But I kind of cheated by not even trying. A lot of people compliment that one. I'm not fond of it. And here's your first Toad from 2023. I'm trying to speak as properly as normal. I'm a Yorkshireman, I've got a bit of an accent. So, and I'm also just not very well at speaking properly, and sometimes I will say free instead of free. I'm sure you'll get over it. I remember in the last video. Oh, God. I'll just tell you real quick. In the last video I did, I was really ill. So I have an excuse, I hope. But I was really slurring my words, man. I sounded drunk. And I remember at one point I said, remember. Instead of remember. Anyway. This is my first Toad I think I've shown. Yep, I think I've shown. And there's a little bit of story. Whatever could be better than a spider silk tie. The law behind that being that I want to do a story at some point about, at least partially, about materialism and how it's getting out of control in the modern world, and I'm going to do it through the Toads, and the tie will be made out of spider silk from a spider, and the material is very dangerous to get. A lot of people die getting it. A rich man will come to a town, promise a lot of money for miners, and they'll go over to these caves, or I don't know where the caves will be, or if it even will be a cave. But there'll be a spider there. You've got to go in there, extract the silk. Very dangerous. And of course, nobody cares. And so that's this. I will say, I do not like this. I must have been in a rush or something. I don't know, this is just quite below, even for 23, it's below my standard, my personal standard, because this is significantly better, and this was one of my first concepts for these Toads. Also back in 23, yep, back in 23. Toads and Frogs concept, that was what it was going to be called originally, Toads and Frogs. I think I've settled with Toad Tails now, quite like the sound of Toad Tails. Yeah, I'm not sure, must have been an off day, I have them. But yeah, little concept of what a Toad, this is a blind Toad. Yeah, concept for a character, old wise man, storyteller, truth exposer, outcast. Next up, oh Jesus. So this, if you are a resident of the UK, you might notice as Scarborough. And on the back, as you might have peeped, moments before disaster that changed the course of my life. I miss Barbados, but not what happened. Me and my father had a big falling out there. And that event that happened maybe an hour after I painted this, maybe a couple more, I don't know, it's what launched me to go to Louisville. And Louisville is what launched me to do things like this. Now, I don't care if you like this or not, I love this. I think this is one of my favourite things I've ever done. And I'm working on making this, but bigger, a lot bigger. But this was the first one, like I told you the story, the cafe and the art club. This is what I first did. I went to my Starbucks, I've said this before in the last video, I went to Starbucks, put my earphones in, and instead of suppressing my emotions, I expressed them. Listen to a lot of Radiohead, you know, or something to bring the emotions up, and this is what we got. And I'm not going to explain it. You can have a look at it, but I'm not going to explain it because that's not how I think these should be viewed. But I definitely had things in my mind when I was doing this. I definitely was struggling. And this yeah, it's quite personal to me. I would never get rid of this. Yep. I named it Haunt. It's actually a lot Haunt. So that was it for that little segment. What are we on? About 16 minutes or so. Yeah, we could probably get a little bit more out of this. Might have to make this into a two-part. Do some a lot of rattling noises. Oh, I'd like to see a little bit more Toad. Alright. Okay, and I got a little bit more Toad. I got a lot of Toad. Okay, so we'll start with... This is a bit of a bigger painting. This, a mush vroom is what I decided to call these. I know, terrible pun. Is it a pun? Punny. It's very punny. And yeah, pretty much these are what the Toads drive. How does it work? I don't know. How do Toads talk? I like drawing these though. They're very fun. This isn't the first one I did. I think this is like the third one I did. I actually really like this one. I think I did a really good job. I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I did this 24 as well. I'll shove that to the side. I'll save that till last. I like that one a lot. This was a concept, not a painting, obviously, of, it's supposed to be like a detective. It's like a detective Toad looking at a crime scene. He's got a woolly jumper on with a big old coat, and there's an officer in the background. And if I was ever going to do officers, then they would have these nice little capes, like a Victorian-esque cape, like kind of like a poncho cape thing, because it's cool. But yeah, that was in 23. Jesus, I didn't even know that was in 23. That's surprised myself. Well, it's like we're going through this for me as well as you. This is a very shitty sheet, pardon my language. There is not much on here. I don't like that. I don't like that, that's for sure. That's a concept. That's alright. That's alright. Actually, I actually quite like that. It's all about that design. This is kind of what I go with, though, generally. I actually really like that. And that's, no, there's a, I don't know if you can really see that, there's a loose concept for maybe a farmer Toad with no shirt on or something. Can't really see what's going on there. Did this around Halloween. It is a bat toad. Or, yeah, bat toad. And there's a tadpole in a little jar, and it's Robin. Let's see if I can, yeah. It's pretty good stuff. Another one that people really seem to like. And I'm actually really surprised that people like this one, because even when they don't know my toad obsession. They can tell it's a toad. And that was my big thing about this piece was, I was like, you know, in context it works, but take out the toads and it like, why is he green? Like, it don't make sense, but people get it. Maybe it's the tadpole. But I don't know, if you didn't know that was a tadpole, you might think it's like a sperm or something. I don't know. I like it. I do like it. I just, apparently I had a thing about drawing old men in 23. So, yeah. I will say, old men, fun to draw. Fun to draw. Not much to say on this one. I think it's just being able to have the excuse to draw all these little details, which I'm sure would be even more horrific if I drew them in 24/5. It is a self-portrait I did for Art Club for the year that I was there. I clearly did this last second. What's that say? So this is me, and this still looks better than what I actually look like in person, and that's your lot. And obviously green is me because I like green. I wear a lot of green. I'm wearing green now. I'm wearing a green shirt with a green jumper. I'm a green guy. Oh dear, we got a bad couple coming up. Oh dear. So I'm not going to say I'm very happy with this one. It's alright. It was a concept that I did in 23, and I never went any further with it. Maybe this is what evolved eventually into the next year, into the Mushroom Men at the very beginning. But yeah, not a fan. Don't like. You. Okay, I've got some explaining to do with this one. Whilst I worked in Louisville, I worked in security, and there was one shift where I worked somewhere completely different, and let me tell you, it was dark. The good thing about security in some of these places is you really just look at cameras, and as long as you are monitoring the place, you can do whatever you want. Get a DoorDash or whatever. And I obviously brought my paints. A lot of this stuff that you're seeing is probably done whilst I was working on the job. I missed that job so much. But I was pretty much in the dark here, so I did watercolour, just splattered it on the page, and then just tried to make faces out the people. And I called it City Slickers because I was in the city at the time, in a big skyscraper, like one of the biggest ones in Louisville. It was fun. I went right to the top and everything. Really missed that job. This is another self-portrait. What did I call it? Oh, it's really small writing. Self-portrait of sickness and stress. Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. And that's me. Once again, these type of things, I don't really say much, because that would ruin half the painting if I exposed what I was thinking at the time, because I want you to take your own meaning from it. Therefore, you can look, and we move on to the last one in this batch. And I think we'll do a couple more. This is where the toads live. Oh yeah, mushrooms again. There's a lot of detail. I don't know why I spent so much time on this one. I just really went wild. But yeah, you got like the moss hanging down, the repairs that were very shoddy, that is kind of around. Once again, this was before I did my perspective lessons. There's a couple of things I would change here, but all in all, it's not that bad. And I had this critiqued by a very, very good artist and a friend. At least he's a friend to me. I don't know if it works both ways around, but he's a friend to me. And this being here, not good. This should have been like here or something. But hey, whatever. I'm really happy with how the grass, and there's like little hidden, you know, through the windows, and this is the entrance here as well as here. And this is one of my favourite things I've done. Yeah, maybe I should redo this at some point. Anyway, I'm a ranter. I rant a lot. I'll pick 2 more at random from the folder. Oh, Jesus, what are these? Okay, we'll pick 3 more because one of these are not good. When I'm a toad. No. I'll stick to my guns. Right, we will start from worst to best, so we can actually end on something good. This was a concept I was doing with my watercolours. I was trying to figure out, whilst I was doing the abstract things, other styles. And in my old place of residency, there was this telephone pole, and there was all this stuff going on, vines going up it, and the leaves were changing orange, and there was so much stuff going on. I just sat out there, and well, as you can see, I didn't get very far. For one, it was bloody hot. It was very, very, very hot, and as soon as I put the paint onto paper, dried. And if you do watercolours, you'll know that's not that helpful, honestly. So that was problem number 1. Problem number 2 was I was overheating. Problem number 3 was my eyes were going really weird colour-wise because I was staring at the scene and then going onto paper, and I couldn't really, the colours were all going off and I couldn't. And then 4 was I was rushing it, and then the style just didn't end up very good. Yeah. But, you live and you learn. This is me. Oh. In spite of your test, I've done my best. Wasn't that nice? 23. Well, what do you know? That is me from 23. And last, a toad. And a very rare landscape toad. I remember doing this one, actually. It just popped into my head. I was going to say something else and it popped in my head. I did this on security. I did it in a guard shack, and in this guard shack there was no power. It would be pitch black. You'd have about an hour. I did night shift, so we'd do like an hour's worth of daylight and it'd just go to night time. I was on night shift. And I managed to produce this. I was pretty proud of the colours. So yeah, that for now is your lot. I have got quite a bit more, actually, to show off than my thick water paper that I have here. I appreciate if you watch this, actually. Once again, these videos, just real quick, because I am going over the time I wanted to go over, but these videos are more for me than anything else. But if other people want to join me on watching these and stuff like that, then yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. I'm mainly doing these so that I can have a digital, what's the word, like a memory that can last. So, in 20, 40 years time, I can look back on these. I'll probably have lost all of these because I lose all my artwork eventually. So it'll be nice to actually see this and be like, I remember that. And I'll be telling these stories now that in 20 years time I would have completely forgotten. So I'm solidifying these memories for me, for family, hopefully for future family. But if you enjoy it too, I appreciate it. But alright, that's your lot.